Good morning. It's Sunday the 24th, is it? And this is the second Sunday in a long weekend. Tomorrow is Monday and it's a bank holiday. And I thought I'd tell you what I've been up to and what I'm going to be up to in the next couple of days. So how's everyone doing? I feel like I'm back in the swing of regular twice a week videos now. So it was really good to have that little break. And one of the reasons I had the break was because I really needed to get to grips with the skin tints video, which you hopefully will have seen by the time this video comes out. And if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below for you. That takes up quite some time and I never seem to get the schedule quite right. It always seems to be a bit hit and miss, and then it takes me much longer than it should do. But hopefully I've learned some lessons from this one. Anyway, so it was good to have the break for that reason, and also because, fingers crossed, we are moving house. We still haven't signed the contract yet. That probably won't happen till mid to late June, I would think, because all the searches have to take place. We've got a surveyor coming to look at our house from the purchaser's side on Tuesday, and that's always a little worry, isn't it? What if they find something structurally wrong with the house and all of that? So things can still go wrong. Nothing is delivered until it's signed and sealed. But it has meant having that time off has made me think about what I want to take with me to the house, because it's a lot smaller at the moment and we are going to get some work done on it, but I don't want to take everything from this house and store it and put it straight into the other house. We need to think about what we're storing, what we're decluttering and what we're taking with us. So I might take you tomorrow into my shed. It's not really a shed, it's more of a brick built thing at the bottom of the garden, and that's where I've got quite a lot of, as I call them, dead relies stuff. So a lot of my grandparents and my parents' bits and bobs, particularly my mum, because both my granny and my mum were in show business, if you like. My granny was an opera singer, so she's got all sorts of books of cuttings and that sort of thing, as has my mum. And then I've got some quite emotional things, some of which I've never really dealt with, and I probably won't tomorrow because it'll be too much, but I need to make sure that they're well stored and labelled as such. So lots of letters from my mum to my granny in her adulthood as well as in her childhood. I've looked at the childhood ones, but the adulthood ones I haven't looked at because I think that I'm going to struggle with them emotionally. So that's what I need to sort out, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. But today I'm going to take you with me to get my eyebrows laminated and my eyelashes lifted. So as I trailed in my previous vlog, I went to my friend's and she very kindly said that she would lend me, if we could find any suitable ones, an outfit for the wedding that I'm going to in mid-June. Now you probably think I'm making a bit of a meal of it, and in a way I probably am, but you know, I've got a channel, it's something I like to share with you, but it's also because I want to make sure I wear the right thing. And also, the couple who are getting married, the groom is the son of one of my closest friends, and I was invited to the daughter's wedding in December 2016, and I was so looking forward to it because not only was I really pleased to be at the wedding and be invited, but also I was going to see lots of old mates. As it happened, I ended up getting pneumonia, so I couldn't go and I was absolutely devastated. And it was one of those awful winters. I had 3 weeks in bed. Luckily, I didn't have to go to hospital, but they did want to take me at one point. I really got quite upset because I've never had to go to hospital for any kind of emergency thing at all. I really didn't want to go. Luckily, I didn't have to go in the end, but I was in bed for 3 weeks. And it was that winter when so many celebrities had died, like George Michael. I've forgotten who else there was. There was a whole slew of them. So it was a very depressing time lying in bed. Also, I didn't have a smart TV upstairs. This is really first world problems, isn't it? But I didn't have a smart TV upstairs. So I ended up having to watch endless reruns of Poirot and Columbo. I have to say, both series are really good. And I used to watch all the Poirots and probably most of the Columbos back in the day. But I was and Holmes Under the Hammer, that was the other thing. So it was Holmes Under the Hammer in the morning and Poirot or Columbo in the afternoon. Anyway, never mind, we've moved on since then. So I really am looking forward to this wedding and I want to wear the right thing. And also, of course, it depends on the weather, doesn't it? Because we don't know what the weather's going to do. So I'm going to just insert some pictures. It was very difficult to get footage in my friend's house because she's just in the process of moving out for a little while. They've only moved in a few months ago. Now they're moving out to get all the work done. we were in this very small kind of closet space or dressing room where she's got all her clothes, and we did end up choosing a couple of outfits. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to wear either of them, but I might do, and I think it's partly weather dependent. So I've got 2 outfits from her that she kindly lent me, and I've got one dress that I bought from Cos. It's not the brown dress that I showed in my original vlog, it's another brown dress. I sent that other one back just because it was a bit too long and I would have had to have had it taken up. And I've also just ordered, and I'll insert a picture of that, a Quince Pashmina kind of shawl thing, which I think will go beautifully with the shoes, and then all I need to get is a cream bag. The other thing is I bought some tights just in case it's really cold, because we just don't know what the weather's going to be like. It's been really quite good over the last few weeks, but it's still May, so it's not quite summer yet. Anyway, so that's what I did yesterday. Oh, and the other thing is we decided not to go out yesterday, so we got a takeaway curry from my local Indian, which is just so good. It's absolutely the best Indian I've ever eaten, actually. It's kind of tapasy Indian, so it's very modern, but each dish has really distinct flavours. It's absolutely delish. If you live in North London, email me and I'll let you know which one it is. We got it from Deliveroo anyway, and it was lovely. And then we decided to watch the part 1 of the 2 Mission Impossibles. I think the latest one's just come out, and we just thought, well, let's watch a movie rather than watching a series or a box set. Not that we've got that many to watch anyway, but we thought we'd give it a go. I mean, it is a load of nonsense, but it's kind of like a cartoon. Wham, bam, pow, all that sort of thing. But it passed the time, it was fine. It was quite long, actually. It was over 2 hours, I think. Anyway, so we watched that, and then this morning I am editing my skin tints video. Now, one of my absolute favourite Substacks, and if you don't know Substack, it's kind of like a writer's social media platform, but you don't have to be a professional writer to use it. Anyone can use it, and I absolutely love it. And I've printed off a recipe, and this is it here. This is a recipe for rhubarb crumb not crumble cake, and it's by a woman called Deborah Robertson, and it's Deborah without an H, and I'll link her Substack down below for you. I think I've talked about her before because she lives in a place called, can I remember the blooming name of it? No, it's near, it's a little port near where we were staying in France in January, and I'd already subscribed to her Substack, so I knew she was local to where we were staying. So we went looking for her house. I couldn't actually find it, but she lives in this beautiful little port, Mercier-Port, that's what it's called, Mercier-Port. And it is an absolutely beautiful little spot. And her Substack, her writing is just so delightful. It's so interesting. She muses on life. She gives you beautiful recipes. She talks about what she's bought in the market each week. It's really lovely and a pleasure to read, and I highly recommend it. So I might give that a go because rhubarb is in season. I know I'm on a diet and I'm going to come to that in a moment, but now and again it's nice to make a dessert and have a mouthful or two, isn't it? Like I made that lemon drizzle cake the other day. I did throw some of it away ultimately because I thought I'm the only one that's going to eat it. And by the way, it froze quite well because I did freeze it and then took it out and defrosted it, and it was still very nice. So I'm going to possibly make that. The other thing I might make is from the Tim Spector book, which I've talked about before on this channel, which I love, the Food for Life cookbook. And it's the black bean meatballs, but of course they're not meatballs, they're made with black beans. So that looked quite nice and fairly straightforward. I've got some of the ingredients already because I bought the miso before. Sometimes with these recipes you think, oh, I'm not buying that just for one tiny morsel that I need in the recipe. And actually I have decided that with this particular recipe because it says use, what was it now? Oh yeah, apple cider vinegar. Now I don't have any apple cider vinegar, and I was going to buy some in Marks yesterday and it was over £8. I'm not paying £8 just to put a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into the recipe. So I think we'll just use normal vinegar. I've got some red wine vinegar, so I'll probably use that. So I might make the black beans. If I do, I will show you, or if I make the rhubarb crumble, I'll also show you, or I might make both, who knows? So that's going to be tomorrow, probably. And so that's how the next couple of days are going to pan out. So I'll be taking you with me on my long weekend journey. I'm on my way to get my eyebrows laminated and my eyelashes lifted. So I thought I'd take you with me. It's not a bad day. It's not very warm, but it's warmish. So I will see you on the other side. I'm going to make a start with rather late in the day because it's quite dark in here, but we don't have any lights in this kind of quasi shed, brick shed. And I've got some boxes, I think. Let me just turn. These are mine, I think, behind the blue chairs. So I just need to start decluttering / packing up and deciding what I want to keep. So that's the plan. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I've got all these interviews. Years and years ago, in about the late 90s maybe, or mid 90s, I started to record people who knew my mum because I wanted to write a biography of hers. And I've got some interviews with one of my oldest friends' mum, who was at drama school with my mum. I am absolutely exhausted, having spent 3 hours sorting through just a fairly small proportion, well, maybe about a third of the things I need to sort out in the shed. And now, having cleansed my face but not put any water on my lashes, I'm going to apply this Lash and Brow Conditioning Serum. I don't usually bother with it, but I'm going to bother with it because I felt my lashes hadn't stayed as lifted as they usually do after however long it was. I think it was 3 months, maybe not quite. So I'm going to apply this to my lashes, and it says you can use this as a primer as well before you put mascara on. So they suggest you use it morning and night. It's by Nouveau Lashes. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to apply it to my brows as well. And there we are. And so, as Samuel Pepys said, to bed. Oh, good morning. It's now Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, and I've just been out for my fast walk with my weighted vest. And the sun's out, it's a little bit chilly, but I've got to crack on because I want to get to the dump and I want to take all the stuff that I decluttered yesterday to be recycled. And I've also got some charity shop stuff, but the charity shop probably won't be open till around 10, so I probably can't do that yet. But I've got quite a few things to take there. I feel so cleansed. I sat in front of the telly last night with all my boxes, and although sometimes it was quite emotional, I didn't delve too deeply into the letters, but I've kept them, and I now need to think about some way of archiving everything. But I looked online this morning, and yes, there are some amazing archive folders and things you can get, but they've got pockets inside, clear pockets where you can put one letter or one picture, and I just don't have the patience for that. I don't want to do that. I'd rather, well, I don't know what I want to do actually. If you've got any suggestions on how I deal with all the archive stuff I've got, and I've got a huge amount, then do let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to crack on and I will talk to you a bit later when I've been to the dump. Good evening. Well, it's nearly evening. It is Monday and it's about 5:45 in the evening. And I'm sorry I've left it so long to have a chat with you, but there's been quite a lot going on. So yesterday, I think I said I was going to be sorting out the shed on Monday today, but actually I started yesterday at about 5:30 because I suddenly got a sort of second wind and I thought, right, I've got some energy. It was a pleasant evening. The sun was out. It wasn't too cold. So I thought I would go and do what is sometimes known as Swedish death cleaning. But really I'm doing it for two reasons. One is because we might be moving. Hopefully we will have exchanged contracts by the end of June, if not before. So once we've exchanged, then we know we're definitely going. And I don't want my kids to be saddled with thousands and thousands of the same photographs belonging to dead rellies as well as of themselves and me and all our family. So it's a good thing to do in any event. So I'm actually more or less finished, which is amazing. I did quite a lot yesterday. I did a couple of hours, I think. Did I do 2 hours? Yeah, I think so. And then I've done a couple of hours today. And I've discovered all sorts of interesting things. Like, for example, my grandmother became a Canadian citizen. So that was interesting. And also there was another piece of paper related to the Canadian citizenship application, was to explain why her name was Catherine R. Candy, which was not the name on her birth certificate. I'm sure I've mentioned many times on this channel how many names our family has had over the years. We've never started and finished with the same birth name. So my granny was the first one, I think, and so she was born Kate R. Kend. She changed her name when she became a singer to Catherine R. Candy, and then according to this letter that I found, this declaration, she became Catherine R. Candy upon marriage because my grandfather wanted her to be Catherine R. Candy on the marriage certificate. So that's how she became officially Catherine R. Candy, even though she'd never changed her name by deed poll. So there you have it. So more interesting facts about my family and the many iterations of their names. Now I'm going to make myself up because very belatedly we've decided to go out for a drink to our local pub, and so I thought I'd put some makeup on. I haven't had any on all day, partly because when you've got your eyelashes lifted, you're not supposed to put water on them for 24 hours. And we didn't go out yesterday, so there's no point in putting any on last night. And so I left it till nearly 6 o'clock to put some on today, but I thought I would chat to you while I do that. Now I'm sorely tempted to open the Merit, but I'm not going to. The Merit, the uniform it's called, isn't it? Because I've watched Michelle Wong trying it out today. I am a little bit confused about it because I think some content creators have put it on under foundation, but I don't really want to do that myself. I just want to use it as an SPF. Well, not as an SPF, because I wouldn't use it as an SPF. I'd put my SPF underneath and then put it on the top. So I'd use it like a skin tint, really. So yes, I will be trying that properly on camera and do a full day wear test like I've just done with the skin tints that went up on Sunday. And if you haven't seen that, I will link it down below in the description box. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention earlier, but I am going to run some footage either earlier on, I may have run it already, or I'll do it now. And that is when I went to Liberty's, and also, where else did I go? Did I go to Cos? I've completely forgotten now. Anyway, I went to Arquette, I think, possibly. Anyway, wherever I went, and it was about 3 weeks ago, I was still on the hunt for a wedding guest dress. And I tried some on, and I just wanted to show you how the current crop of dresses in the shops for occasions, if you like, are not really my cup of tea. They don't suit me, and particularly, I'm going to insert it now, the Norma Kamali, which I saw Charlotte Holdcroft talking about the other day, and I thought, gosh, this looks so fabulous, I've got to try it. I've realised that ruching, which I always thought was really good at disguising your tum, is actually awful for disguising your tum. It doesn't do it at all. On the contrary, it accentuates it. So I had to send that back. It literally arrived at sort of 11 o'clock, and I think I sent it back at 12. It was no good at all. Beautiful dress, but just not right for me. And also, clingy is not really right for me at my age. I just don't feel... There are certain things that I think are age dependent, and I think a very clingy dress, unless you've got a small waist, and actually that's something else I wanted to talk about. I think if you've got a small waist, however old you are, you can wear anything, and Jo Good is an example of that. Jo Good is a petite content creator / radio presenter, and she has a tiny waist, actually, as does Helen Mirren, which is why Helen Mirren usually looks fabulous in everything. But she has a small waist, and it means that all sorts of clothes look fabulous on her, particularly dresses. And I'm not one of them, sadly, because I have a big waist, although it is slightly smaller. Oh yes, that's something else I wanted to tell you. I've lost another pound. Oh, and do you know what? It's made such a difference. It really has. I feel like my clothes are fitting me so much better than they were this time last year. I'm really delighted with it. So I've just got to keep going, because the temptation is when I see that I've lost another pound, I think, oh, that's fine, I can eat this and that, the other. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to carry on until I've got to 8.5 stone. So really delighted with that, which means that my clothes are fitting me so much better. Everything's more comfortable. I'm even tempted to tuck something in now and again. I'm all round feeling pretty good. It's been lovely to have 3 days off, and I am looking forward to the move if I can move, because it will be time to give up my full-time job. It really will. I mean, actually this week's quite a short week, because where are we now? Tomorrow's Tuesday. So Wednesday afternoon I've got off as annual leave because I'm going to get my hair done. And then Friday I'm off as well. And Friday I'll take you with me actually, because I've got loads of appointments. I've got my shingles second jab. Then I've got the dermatologist at 9:30 about the moles. Then I've got the dentist. So that's Friday. And then I'm just going to be recording at the weekend, because the following weekend we're going to Paris. Yay! We're actually going on the 5th of June. And so looking forward to that. It's my husband's birthday, so we usually go away in June. Last year we went to Newcastle. This year we're going to Paris. Now let me do my eyes. I'm rediscovering, I think it's because it's the summer, or at least it's nearly the summer, the Eldridge Liquid Shadows, which I lived in last year and I'm going to live in again this year, I think. I have a feeling this is Ione, which is the one that's never available, is it? That's just such a great base. I mean, you could play about with it and put stuff on the top if you wanted to, but for a one and done. Now, one of the things I was going to ask you was, well, actually, do you know what? I don't think we need to do this, because look, they're nicely shaped, aren't they? See, what brow lamination is, by the way, is it's straightening. It's the opposite of a perm. It's like having a keratin on your brows, a keratin treatment. I used to have those. Oh, gosh. They were good, but they were so expensive. I wanted to ask you, which content creators, the big ones, which are the big ones that you follow? So the ones I particularly like who have the largest followings are Emma Hill, Risa Does Makeup, and Gabby of Glam Girl Gabby. Are there any other big ones that I'm missing? Because I'd love to know. I mean, probably not, but you never know what YouTube's going to show you, do you? And sometimes it's very random. In fact, one of the very interesting things I've been doing is interesting to me, probably not that interesting to you, but certainly interesting to me. And that's, I've let my membership lapse. I think I might have mentioned this in my newsletter, which if you haven't subscribed to, the link to do so is in the description box below. I've stopped the subscription, and so it means I'm getting all the ads, and I'm really interested to see what ads are being shown in the videos that I'm watching, because some of them seem very random. I mean, for example, one of the funny ones is not random. It's because I ordered a couple of spare keys for our windows, and now I'm being shown the company that I ordered them from all the time, but that's Google, I get that. But sometimes I'm shown, well, I suppose I can see the connection actually. Sometimes I'm shown sort of small business software and that kind of thing, but I don't know whether I've Googled small business software before, but I suppose maybe they're guessing that I'm a content creator from the videos that I watch about content creation, which of course I do, as well as watching the makeup and fashion videos. So that could be it. But anyway, I'd be really interested to know, A, what big channels you watch, and B, do you pay a premium for YouTube, or are you happy to watch the ads and just wind them on every now and again? Because actually, do you know what? I found that I don't mind the ads all that much. I thought I would, but I find I don't. But I am going to have to pay premium again at some point, because I think they give you 6 months grace. But if I don't renew it in 6 months, then I lose all the videos that I've saved, which I'm not sure I want to do. Anyway, I'll see how I feel in 6 months. I do love this palette. I love Victoria Beckham. I know it's a super expensive brand, and I think it's partly I love a brand that I don't have to think too much about, that I know hasn't got fragrance in it, for example, because that is what I struggle with brands, and particularly those that are affordable. Although I love Elf, it's got some fantastic products, but not all of them are unfragranced. So it means that I have to examine every label. I have to go over it with a fine tooth comb to make sure that it doesn't contain anything dodgy for me. So, you know, it can't contain... The key ingredients actually for me are citral, which is found in most fragrances. So if it says fragrance, you can almost bet your bottom dollar it'll contain citral. And the other one is vanillin, because it's a derivative of vanilla, and I'm allergic to that as well. So I remember when I first found out, I thought, this is going to take all the joy. This is 2016, by the way, 2017. This is going to take all the joy for me out of makeup and skincare. But happily it hasn't, because who knew that I was going to start a channel a few years later. So I'm glad to say it hasn't killed my joy at all. I still absolutely adore playing with makeup, even though I have to read the ingredients list first before I buy anything. And of course I didn't do that with the It Cosmetics CC Glow Cream, whatever it's called, and it turned out it had fragrance in it. Anyway, that'll teach me. Now let's put some blusher on. Look at this lovely little bottle. This is Rare Beauty. It's so pretty. I have listened to you know, I've listened to all my lovely subscribers who said last year I'd gone in far too heavy with blusher in terms of the colour. I'd chosen some really dark colours. So this year I've gone, no, Des, hold your horses. You've got to go lighter. And this is beautifully light, isn't it? So I have listened to you, I do pay attention, which is why I ask your advice, because I like to know these things. I've got girlfriends who are delightful, but most of them are not that interested in makeup and don't even wear makeup, some of them. So I need my online community to help me, and you've all been fantastic at that, you really have. And I really do appreciate it. Right, I'm just going to go and put a different top on. I don't know what top I'm going to wear yet, or what bottoms actually. And then I'll show you what I'm going to wear to go out. Right, so let me find something to put my hair up with. Right, so this is the Cos T Shirt. It is quite oversized. I wonder if I could have got a smaller size, I don't know. But I think the aesthetic is that it's meant to be oversized. So I've got the Mom Jeans on. I think what I'll do is I'll just wear my Puma Palermo. And then I'll wear my black quilted Whistles jacket. So I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It's been very bitty, I know, but sometimes I just like sharing stuff with you and having a chat, and I hope you like it as well. I hope you get something out of it, if even just a little bit of entertainment. I don't know, is that too grand a term for what I do? I don't know. Just boring on really in my usual way, but I really love talking to you, even though I know I'm just talking to my camera, but I feel you on the other side. I see you on the other side of the camera, and it just makes me feel happy that we can share this sort of stuff and that you seem to like some of it anyway. So thank you so much for joining me, and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already before you leave, and of course give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my bi-monthly newsletter if you'd like to hear more from me. And I thank you so much for watching. As you know, it means the absolute world to me. It really, really does. And I hope you're all doing really well, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video on Sunday. Bye.